30 Best Dressed at Wimbledon 2026. The 2026 edition of the Wimbledon Championships, the oldest and most prestigious tennis tournament in the entire world, has officially wrapped up at the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club in London. And as always, while the tennis itself was absolutely electric, with Carlos Alcaraz defending his title and Iga Świątek claiming the women's crown, we all know that Wimbledon is never just about the tennis, is it? No, honey. It is also about that center court style. It is about that royal box glamour. It is about the fortnight-long fashion show that unfolds right there in SW19, where royals, actors, musicians, and models all come together to prove that the no hats blocking the royal box rule is basically the only rule anybody is actually trying to follow. Think about it for a second. This is a tournament that has been running in one form or another for well over a century, and yet every single year it manages to produce an entirely new crop of fashion moments for us to sit here and dissect. That is such a rare thing. Award shows come and go, red carpets blur together, but Wimbledon has this very specific blend of old-world tradition and modern celebrity culture that makes it endlessly fascinating to cover. And this year, ladies and gentlemen, the fashion did not disappoint. From vintage archive pulls to head-to-toe Ralph Lauren, because let's be honest, Ralph Lauren basically owns Wimbledon at this point, to some seriously covetable hats fighting off those historic London rain showers. This year's championships gave us so much to talk about. So today, we are counting down my top 30 best-dressed celebrities and royals at Wimbledon 2026. Grab your strawberries, grab your Pims, settle in, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Now, before we dive in, if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel, and if you love fashion history and celebrity style breakdowns like this one, do me a huge favor right now and hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel so much, and I promise you, you do not want to miss what is coming up on this list, because we have royalty, we have Hollywood royalty, and yes, we even have literal, actual royalty. There truly is something here for everyone. Whether you are into red carpet glamour, quiet luxury tailoring, or full-on runway drama. This year's edition also came with a very specific plot twist. An absolutely brutal London rainy spell that swept through the entire fortnight and genuinely tested every single stylist and celebrity in attendance. Some people leaned into massive statement hats, some went full tailoring with umbrellas tucked into their bags, and some just stuck to crisp, breathable whites. It is one thing to plan an outfit around sunshine and warm afternoons, but it is a completely different challenge to plan an outfit that can survive sudden downpours and that particular damp London chill, all while still looking flawless for the cameras. Watching how everyone adapted their personal style to survive that rain while still looking completely put together is honestly one of my favorite parts of covering this particular list, because it really does separate the people who dress with genuine intention from the people who are simply following a formula. So let's get into who served and who left absolutely no crumbs on the lawns of Wimbledon this year. Let's get right into it, starting from the very top. Number 1, Jennifer Lopez. First up on our list, and starting out incredibly strong, we have the one, the only Jennifer Lopez. For day 14 of Wimbledon 2026, the final day of the men's singles, Jennifer stepped out in a head-to-toe Ralph Lauren moment that had absolutely everyone talking, and for very good reason. She wore this gorgeous gray herringbone tweed suit, sleeveless, with a structured bodice and a delicate waist tie that cascaded down just past her knee. The kind of silhouette that gave her posture this real sense of architecture while still leaving room for movement. But listen, we cannot talk about this look without talking about the bag. This was not just a bag, okay? This was an event in itself. A massive, fringe-accented shoulder bag that people online were genuinely comparing in size to the Venus Rosewater dish, which, if you don't know, is the actual trophy handed to the Wimbledon ladies singles champion. That is how big we are talking. Now, I have to say, at first glance you might think, is this too much? But no. Absolutely not, because this is peak Jennifer Lopez energy. She does not do anything halfway, and she definitely was not about to let that London weather ruin her glam. She finished the whole thing off with brown leather sandals, her hair was down and blown out. Her cheeks had this beautiful bronzed rosy flush, and her lips were a deep, deep nude. I also just love that she was seated right there in the royal box next to Tom Hiddleston, surrounded by all this A-list energy, and she still managed to be the one everybody was pointing their cameras at. That, to me, is star power. This look was vintage, ladylike, and just a little bit over the top in the best possible way. And can we also just talk for a second about the fact that this dress was actually pulled from Ralph Lauren's Spring-Summer 2001 archive collection? I am such a sucker for a good archival fashion moment because it shows real intention behind the styling. This wasn't some random pull off a rack somewhere. This was a deliberate, thoughtful choice, and it gave the whole outfit this timeless, slightly nostalgic quality that a brand new piece just could not have replicated. Combine that with the vintage gold jewelry from Chanel she wore, and you've got a look that was quietly telling a much bigger fashion story than most people probably even clocked at first glance. So for this look, it is a solid 10 out of 10 for me. An absolutely flawless way to open this countdown, and honestly, a perfect illustration of everything this list is about to celebrate. Confidence, scale, and just the right amount of theatrical flair. Number 2. Nicole Kidman. Next up, we have the eternally elegant Nicole Kidman. Nicole attended the men's final in the royal box, and she did what Nicole always does at Wimbledon, which is deliver an absolutely masterclass in tailoring. She wore this crisp, beige Ralph Lauren trench coat, double-breasted, with a matching tie, worn over a white-collared shirt. Now, I know a suit and tie on a woman might not sound groundbreaking to some of you, but the way Nicole wears tailoring, it just hits different. The proportions were relaxed, but never sloppy. The fabric had this beautiful crispness to it. She also brought a pale straw fedora hat with her, which she wore on her way in and then set down in front of her once she took her seat. Which, fun fact, is actually a rule in the royal box, since hats can't block the view of the people sitting behind you. I love that she works around that every single year without missing a beat style-wise. Seated right next to Anna Wintour and Sienna Miller, Nicole once again proved that when it comes to Wimbledon whites, she is basically unteachable at this point. Menswear stylists genuinely need to be taking notes from her. This was clean, it was chic, it was quietly confident, the kind of outfit that does not need to shout to be remembered. This look, it has to be a 10 out of 10 for me. Anna Wintour. Up next, we have the Queen of Vogue herself, Anna Wintour. And listen, we all know Anna rarely, if ever, strays from her uniform. But even within that uniform, she always finds a way to make it feel fresh. For the men's final, Anna wore a floral Balenciaga maxi dress, which honestly slotted so seamlessly into her signature aesthetic that it almost felt inevitable. She finished the look off with her signature oversized sunglasses, because when has Anna Wintour ever been photographed without them? A statement necklace, and a pair of neutral Manolo Blahnik sandals. Now some people might say, oh, this is just Anna being Anna, nothing new here. But I actually think that is exactly the point. This is a woman who has built an entire personal brand around consistency and precision, and every single piece she wears is intentional. The floral gave it a bright, summery energy that felt completely appropriate for Wimbledon, while still being unmistakably her. She was seated in that stacked row with Nicole Kidman and Sienna Miller, basically forming what I like to call the royal box's unofficial front row of fashion authority. And honestly, when the actual editor-in-chief of Vogue shows up looking this put together, there really isn't much left to critique. This is classic Anna, through and through. I also think there is something genuinely fascinating about watching someone who has spent decades shaping the entire fashion industry still show up, year after year, in an outfit that is unmistakably, recognizably her. In an era where so many public figures feel pressure to constantly reinvent themselves for the algorithm, Anna's refusal to budge from her formula feels almost radical. She has built her entire personal brand on precision and consistency, and every single accessory choice, right down to those sunglasses, reinforces that identity. This look, it has to be a 10 out of 10 for me. Proof once again that true style does not need to change with every passing season to remain powerful. Number 4. Sienna Miller. Next on our list, we have Wimbledon's reigning it girl, Sienna Miller. And I genuinely could not do this list without giving her 2 moments, because she gave us 2 completely different energies this year, and both of them worked. For the men's final, Sienna arrived with her fiancé, Ollie Green, wearing a tailored Ralph Lauren pantsuit from the Spring 2026 collection, styled with Prada sunglasses and jewelry from Tiffany & Co. It was sharp, it was powerful, and it had just enough drama in those shoulders to stand out in a sea of white and cream. But earlier in the tournament, she brought her 12-year-old daughter Marlo along and gave us full Y2K boho energy in a navy crocheted Ralph Lauren crop top, paired with a floaty white maxi skirt and a wide disc belt. This is peak Sienna. She is the woman who somehow makes boho and Wimbledon's preppy dress code coexist in perfect harmony. And honestly, watching her daughter start to develop her own accessory-heavy signature style right alongside her was such a sweet, full-circle moment. Sienna has been doing this for years, and she just keeps finding new ways to reinvent her formula without ever losing what makes it so distinctly her. Both looks, completely different vibes, both absolutely worked. What I find so impressive about Sienna's approach to Wimbledon fashion over the years is that she never seems to be chasing what everyone else is wearing. While half the royal box was leaning into crisp tailoring and structured suiting this year, Sienna went the complete opposite direction with soft ruffles and crochet textures, and somehow it still felt perfectly at home within the overall Wimbledon aesthetic. That is a genuinely rare skill, being able to zig while everyone else zags and still look like you belong exactly where you're standing. This has to be a 10 out of 10 for me, and honestly, giving her 2 entries on this list felt entirely necessary once I saw just how differently she approached each day of the tournament. Number 5, Cynthia Erivo. Up next, we have the incomparable Cynthia Erivo, who did not just wear an outfit at Wimbledon, she told an entire story with it. For the men's final, Cynthia arrived in a pinstriped Ralph Lauren suit, paired with a striped shirt and tie, and finished off with a navy woven hat that sat somewhere between a bucket hat and a cloche. Now this whole look was giving me very vintage, very Peaky Blinders energy, and I was absolutely here for it. The tailoring was sharp, the proportions were relaxed but intentional, and the styling had this wonderful sense of character to it that a lot of people just don't bother bringing to red carpet or event dressing anymore. She also came prepared for that brutal London weather, carrying both a paper umbrella and a little handheld cooling fan, which, honestly, I respect the practicality just as much as the fashion. Because listen, looking good is important, but so is not passing out in 90-degree heat while wearing full tailoring. If I had one small note, it would be the shoes, since the white saddle style felt like it belonged to a slightly different outfit than the one happening from the ankle up. But overall, Cynthia brought personality, drama, and a genuine point of view to her Wimbledon look, and that is exactly what earns you a spot on this list. I also just want to give her credit for playing so confidently within menswear-inspired dressing at an event that can sometimes feel like it rewards playing it safe. So many people default to a simple sundress or a basic linen suit, but Cynthia decided to bring an entire aesthetic, an entire mood to her outfit. And that kind of creative risk-taking is exactly what separates a good look from a genuinely memorable one. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me. Exactly the kind of decision that keeps me talking about a specific outfit long after the tournament ends. Number 6, Elizabeth Debicki. Next up we have the always statuesque Elizabeth Debicki. Elizabeth showed up to the men's final in a full, preppy Ralph Lauren look that oozed that effortless, old-money coolness she does so well. Now Elizabeth has this incredible ability to make even the simplest silhouettes feel elevated, purely through posture and presence. She finished the look off with a pair of silver Ralph Lauren sunglasses featuring subtle engraving details, which added just the right amount of polish without overpowering the rest of the outfit. If I am being fully honest with you, the trouser silhouette on the bottom half wasn't quite my favorite. A slightly more streamlined cut, or maybe a different tonal choice, could have taken this from good to absolutely incredible. But even with that small critique, Elizabeth still commanded attention the moment she walked in, because that is just what she does. This look, it has to be an 8 out of 10 for me. Number 7. Andrew Garfield. Speaking of Andrew, he absolutely deserves his own spot on this list. Andrew attended Wimbledon multiple times this year. First with his girlfriend, Monica Barbaro. For the final, Andrew leaned all the way into his now signature, relaxed, tonal dressing, this time in a soft ivory Ralph Lauren look. He paired it with tortoiseshell sunglasses, and he let his hair and beard grow out, which honestly gives him this effortless, off-duty movie star energy that I am absolutely obsessed with. What I love most about Andrew's approach to Wimbledon's style is that it never feels like he is trying too hard. There is no flashy tailoring trick, no statement accessory begging for attention. It is just clean lines, soft neutral tones, and a guy who clearly knows exactly what works for him and has zero interest in reinventing the wheel. In a sea of double-breasted suits and patterned ties, sometimes the simplest, most tonal look is the one that actually stands out the most, purely because of how confident and lived in it feels. Andrew proved that again and again this fortnight. He also brought a pair of optical frames along with him earlier in the tournament before switching over to his sunglasses later in the day, which honestly is such a small, practical detail. But it shows the kind of person who thinks through his entire day rather than just dressing for the first photo opportunity. Little touches like that are exactly why Andrew keeps landing on best-dressed lists year after year, even with such a minimal, low-key approach to getting dressed. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me, an approach so many other celebrities could genuinely learn from. Number 8. Tom Hiddleston. Up next on our list, we have Tom Hiddleston, who once again reminded us all why a well-cut navy pinstripe suit will simply never ever go out of style. For the men's final, Tom arrived in a dark blue pinstriped Ralph Lauren suit, layered over a light blue collared shirt with a gray tie, and finished with dark sunglasses. Now, some of you might say, haven't we seen this exact formula from Tom before? And yes, honestly, we have. But here's the thing. When you wear tailoring this well, and when you carry yourself with this much charisma, it genuinely never starts to feel repetitive. There is a reason certain celebrities become synonymous with certain looks. And for Tom, it is impeccably tailored, old Hollywood-leaning menswear, every single time. He was seated right there in the royal box next to Jennifer Lopez for the entirety of the men's final, and the two of them together made for one of the most photographed pairings of the entire day. Tom's suit had this lovely subtle sheen to the fabric that photographed beautifully in the sunlight, and the fit through the shoulders was just impeccable. This is a masterclass in dependable, classic menswear done exactly right. Honestly, at this point, I feel like Tom Hiddleston and Ralph Lauren tailoring have become basically synonymous with one another whenever Wimbledon rolls around, and I do not think that is a bad thing at all. There is something so reassuring about a celebrity who knows exactly what works for their body and their personal brand, and just leans all the way into it, year after year, without ever second-guessing themselves. That kind of consistency is genuinely its own form of style mastery. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me, and Tom continues to prove why menswear stylists so often point to him as the benchmark for doing classic tailoring properly. Number 9. Rami Malek and Emma Corrin. Next up, we have one of my absolute favorite celebrity couples of the entire tournament, Rami Malek and Emma Corrin. The two of them attended together, and honestly, this might be the cutest, most coordinated couples look of the whole fortnight. Emma leaned into a striking, retro aesthetic in a red-collared, short-sleeve knit top finished with a cream trouser, and they wore their short hair styled back into a soft, wet look. Rami, meanwhile, was every bit the gentleman in a dark suit, paired with a patterned tie and a blue button-up shirt. What I love about this pairing is that neither of them tried to match each other exactly, but their color palettes and overall polish complemented one another so naturally. Rami also attended other days of the tournament in Prada footwear that I thought was such a smart, slightly unexpected menswear choice. But this joint look with Emma is the one that really stuck with me. There is something so genuinely charming about a couple who clearly put thought into complementing each other without falling into the trap of matching too literally. Emma's retro silhouette and Rami's classic tailoring told the same story in two completely different outfits. And that, to me, is exactly how couple dressing should work. It should feel like a conversation between two people, not a costume. This has to be a 9 out of 10 for me. Exactly how couple dressing should work when it is done with this much genuine warmth. Number 10. Letitia Wright. Up next, we have the incomparable Letitia Wright, who did not just wear an outfit at Wimbledon, she told an entire story with it. For the men's final, Letitia arrived in a double-breasted Prada suit, paired with a simple shirt underneath, and finished off with a black leather bag that sat somewhere between a shoulder bag and a clutch. Now this whole look was giving me very modern, very high-fashion energy, and I was absolutely here for it. The tailoring was sharp, the proportions were relaxed but intentional, and the styling had this wonderful sense of character to it that a lot of people just don't bother bringing to red carpet or event dressing anymore. She also came prepared for that brutal London weather, carrying both a black umbrella and a little handheld cooling fan, which, honestly, I respect the practicality just as much as the fashion. Because listen, looking good is important, but so is not passing out in 90-degree heat while wearing full tailoring. If I had one small note, it would be the shoes, since the black loafer style felt like it belonged to a slightly different outfit than the one happening from the ankle up. But overall, Letitia brought personality, drama, and a genuine point of view to her Wimbledon look. And that is exactly what earns you a spot on this list. I also just want to give her credit for playing so confidently within menswear-inspired dressing at an event that can sometimes feel like it rewards playing it safe. So many people default to a simple sundress or a basic linen suit, but Letitia decided to bring an entire aesthetic, an entire mood to her outfit, and that kind of creative risk-taking is exactly what separates a good look from a genuinely memorable one. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me. Exactly the kind of creative risk-taking that separates a good look from a genuinely memorable one. Number 11. Nikki Hilton Rothschild. Next up, we have Nikki Hilton Rothschild, who gave us one of the sweetest coordinated moments of the entire tournament. For the second day, Nikki and her sister, Paris, showed up in matching blue lace self-portrait dresses, both finished with delicate collar trims. Nikki completed her look with delicate jewelry and, for the final day specifically, a pair of dark Chanel sunglasses featuring a white frame line detail, which is genuinely one of those accessories that instantly elevates an entire outfit. On an earlier day of the tournament, she had also stepped out in a tailored look, paired with an Hermes bag, proving that her Wimbledon fashion game was strong across the entire fortnight, not just on finals day. What really got me about this particular look, though, was the sisterly coordination. It felt sweet without being try-hard or overly styled, like the kind of matching moment that actually happens organically between two sisters who just genuinely love getting dressed up together. The blue lace gave it a playful, vintage charm that fit perfectly within the Wimbledon aesthetic. This felt like real family style, not just a photo opportunity. And honestly, matching sisterly moments can go so wrong so easily, either feeling forced or looking like a marketing stunt rather than something genuine. But because both dresses were the same silhouette and print rather than identical head-to-toe outfits, it landed in this really sweet, natural sweet spot instead. It read as two people who genuinely enjoy getting dressed together, not two people performing coordination for the cameras. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me, a reminder that the sweetest fashion moments are often the simplest ones. Number 12. Simone Ashley. Up next on our list, we have Simone Ashley, who nailed Wimbledon's signature all-white aesthetic completely. Simone stepped out in a crisp, all-white Ralph Lauren ensemble, featuring a utility button-down shirt worn over a matching camisole and tailored shorts. Now, after what has apparently been a summer full of tennis-inspired red carpet looks for her latest film project, it was refreshing to see Simone switch gears entirely and go for something so clean, so simple, and so completely on theme for the Wimbledon dress code. The utility shirt gave the whole look a relaxed, sporty energy, while the crisp white fabric kept it feeling polished and intentional. I also just love how effortless this outfit looked. It was the kind of thing that photographs beautifully, but also looks genuinely wearable and comfortable. which honestly matters so much for a daytime event where you are sitting outside in direct sun for hours at a time. There is a real art to making simplicity look this considered. Simone proved that you do not need embellishment or bold color to make a real style statement at Wimbledon. Sometimes the crispest white shirt in the building is exactly the flex you need. I also think there is something to be said about restraint after a summer full of loud, maximalist red carpet moments across the industry. Sometimes stepping back and choosing the simplest, cleanest version of an outfit is actually the boldest choice a celebrity can make, purely because it goes against the instinct to always do more. Simone trusted the silhouette and the crisp white fabric to do all the talking, and it absolutely worked. This look, it has to be an 8 out of 10 for me. Exactly the kind of quiet confidence that sticks with people. Number 13, David Beckham. Next up, we have football and fashion icon David Beckham, who brought his signature sharp tailoring to the Royal Box on the third day of the tournament. David wore a double-breasted beige boss suit, layered over a crisp white dress shirt, and finished the whole thing off with a brown tie, a coordinating pocket square, and a gold Tudor Black Bay 58 watch. Now, David Beckham at Wimbledon is basically its own tradition at this point. But what makes this particular appearance even sweeter is that he brought his mother, Sandra Beckham, along with him, just like he has done nearly every single year on his opening day since 2014. That kind of consistency, that kind of loyalty to a family tradition, genuinely warms my heart, and it makes the whole look feel like it carries even more meaning. Style-wise, this was exactly what you would expect and want from David. The double-breasted cut was sharp through the shoulders, the brown tie added just enough warmth to break up the beige, and the watch was the perfect finishing touch for a menswear look this classic. He has built an entire reputation on precision tailoring, and he delivered it again here without missing a single beat. But honestly, it is that little detail with his mother that elevates this whole appearance for me. In an industry obsessed with reinvention and constantly chasing the next big look, there is something so grounding about watching a father and son tradition, or in this case, a mother and son tradition, play out year after year in the exact same spot at the exact same tournament. It reminds you that behind all the tailoring and the watches and the pocket squares, this is still just a family enjoying a day out together. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me, and that small family detail alone is enough to make this one of the more heartwarming entries on this entire list. Number 14, Zara and Mike Tyndall. Up next, we have another royal adjacent pairing, Zara and Mike Tyndall, who stepped out hand-in-hand for day 10 of the tournament looking wonderfully coordinated. Zara wore a floral, tiered Me+M dress, finished off with a mini suede bag that added the perfect summery touch. Mike, meanwhile, opted for a relaxed linen blazer, paired with a light blue button-down shirt and beige trousers. I really love how this couple approaches dressing for events like Wimbledon. Nothing about their look feels overly formal or stiff, but everything is still clearly considered and put together. The pattern on Zara's dress gave it a playful, summery feel that suited the occasion perfectly. And the cut cinched the waist just enough to keep the silhouette flattering without looking restrictive. Mike's linen blazer was such a smart choice for the weather that week, giving him a relaxed but still polished silhouette that didn't feel like he was trying too hard to match the more formal energy happening elsewhere in the Royal Box. Together, their color palettes complemented each other beautifully, without feeling like a forced, matchy-matchy couple's outfit. This felt genuine, comfortable, and completely appropriate for a warm summer day at the tennis. I also just love seeing this pair show up year after year with the same relaxed, unbothered energy. Neither of them is chasing headlines or trying to outdress anyone else in the Royal Box. They dress like two people who are genuinely just there to enjoy the tennis together. And honestly, in a sea of high-fashion, heavily styled outfits, that authenticity stands out in its own quiet way. This look, it has to be an 8 out of 10 for me. Exactly the sort of quiet, unbothered authenticity that stands out in its own way. Number 15, Stormzy. Next up, we have Stormzy, who proved that you do not need bold colors or flashy patterns to make a real style statement. Stormzy kept things clean with a cream knit shirt, worn over a simple matching pant, and finished the whole thing off with a pair of brown loafers. Now, this is exactly the kind of understated menswear moment I live for. The cream tone felt fresh and modern against all the navy and gray suits dominating the grounds that day, and pairing a more relaxed fit instead of a tailored suit gave the whole look a really cool, off-duty energy. It managed to feel both put together and completely comfortable at the same time, which is honestly such a hard balance to strike. The brown loafers were the perfect finishing touch, adding just a little bit of shine and polish without overdoing it. This is the kind of outfit that works because every single piece feels intentional, but nothing about it feels overworked or fussy. Stormzy continues to prove that when it comes to menswear, sometimes the quietest, most confident choice is the one that ends up being the most memorable. He has really grown into such a versatile style presence over the past few years, moving effortlessly between bold streetwear moments and, like here, much more refined, pared-back resort wear. Watching him take on Wimbledon's slightly more traditional dress code and still make it feel current and cool was genuinely one of the more satisfying menswear moments of the whole tournament for me. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me, one of the more satisfying menswear moments of the whole tournament to look back on. Okay guys, we are officially halfway through this list. And if you are enjoying it so far, I would genuinely love it if you dropped a comment down below telling me which look has been your favorite one so far. Is it Team J.Lo and her enormous iconic coat? Is it Sienna Miller's boho moment with her daughter? Or are you more of a Nicole Kidman, quiet luxury tailoring kind of person? Let me know down in the comments because I read every single one of them and it genuinely helps me figure out what kind of content you guys want to see more of on this channel. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we still have 15 more incredible looks to get through, including some serious showstoppers coming up. So let's keep going. Number 16. Keira Knightley. Moving on to number 16, we have the elegant Keira Knightley, who made a rare and highly anticipated public appearance alongside her husband, James Wrighton. Keira, who is always a favorite of mine when it comes to classic British style, did not disappoint, leaning heavily into a vintage-inspired aesthetic that felt so incredibly right for center court. She chose a stunning, cream-colored pussy bow midi dress by Ralph Lauren collection, featuring long sleeves, a belted waist, and delicate frill details right along the neckline. It was the ultimate masterclass in what people are calling quiet luxury, showing that you do not need bright colors or loud patterns to completely command a room, or in this case, the royal box. What made this look work so well was the styling. Keira tied the pussy bow in a loose, slightly nautical-esque knot rather than a stiff bow, which gave the whole outfit a relaxed, breezy energy. She paired the dress with a structured cream mini bag, simple strappy sandals, and kept her jewelry to an absolute minimum, letting her signature chic bob and the dress do all the work. Her husband James complemented her perfectly in structured navy tailoring, making them easily one of the most effortlessly coordinated couples of the day. I love how timeless this dress is. It is actually from a Ralph Lauren collection from a couple of seasons ago, which is such a brilliant style move. It proves that true elegance does not have an expiration date, and that repeating or wearing archival pieces is often the chicest thing a celebrity can do. This look? It has to be a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Proof that a repeated or archival piece can still feel entirely fresh in the right hands. Number 17. Maura Higgins. Up next, we have Maura Higgins, who made her absolute Wimbledon debut this year and decided to go completely, unapologetically all out with her fashion. Maura, who has been having a massive style moment lately, arrived on day one of the tournament looking like she walked straight off a movie set. She wore an ultra-chic white Chanel mini dress that fit her beautifully, but it was her accessories that truly stole the entire show. She fully committed to the tennis core trend by carrying a white Chanel bag shaped exactly like a tennis ball, and she finished the look with a pair of white Fleur de Marie heels. Now, if the heels look familiar, it is because they feature literal tennis balls built directly into the stiletto heels, a design that Zendaya famously wore during her Challengers press tour earlier in the year. Maura styled her hair into a sleek, half-up, half-down look completed with a white bow, and she wore a pair of retro white-framed sunglasses. I absolutely love when someone goes to a sporting event and decides to have fun with their outfit. Tennis dressing can sometimes feel a bit repetitive, with the endless white linen and basic midi dresses. So seeing Maura lean so heavily into a playful, highly thematic look was a total breath of fresh air. It was cheeky, it was high fashion, and she pulled it off with so much confidence. Some might find the tennis ball heels a little too on the nose, but in my book, fashion should be fun. If you cannot wear tennis ball heels to day one of Wimbledon, when on earth can you wear them? This is a 9 out of 10 for me, an outfit that leaned all the way into a theme and was rewarded for it. Number 18, Elle Fanning. Next up, we have the ethereal Elle Fanning, who brought a gorgeous splash of soft color to a tournament that is so often dominated by neutrals and stark whites. Elle attended day 10 of the tournament and sat in the royal box, wearing an outfit that felt like a beautiful, breezy summer dream. Instead of going for classic Wimbledon white, she wore a mid-length Dior Riviera belted shirt dress by Dior, featuring a delicate pastel color block design in shades of soft yellow, pink, mint green, and white. The dress was beautifully structured with 3/4 sleeves, a crisp pointed collar, and a pale blue fabric belt tied neatly at her waist. She styled the romantic look with structured black cat-eye sunglasses, a classic black handbag, and kept her jewelry incredibly simple, letting that dreamy pastel palette take center stage. With her blonde hair styled in soft, natural waves, she looked effortlessly chic, like a modern-day Grace Kelly enjoying an afternoon of tennis. What I love about this look is how it respected the elegance of the royal box, while completely ignoring the default rule of wearing head-to-toe white or cream. It felt youthful, artistic, and incredibly fresh. The color blocking was so subtle that it did not scream for attention, but it was distinct enough to make her stand out beautifully in the crowd. Elle always has this magical ability to make high fashion look completely comfortable and natural. And this Dior moment was no exception. It was romantic, refined, and easily one of my favorite looks of the entire fortnight. This has to be a 10 out of 10 for me. One of those looks I found myself returning to again and again while putting this whole countdown together. Number 19, Hannah Waddingham. Up next, we have the powerhouse that is Hannah Waddingham, who proved once again why she is one of the absolute queens of courtside style. Hannah attended the later stages of the tournament looking like an absolute goddess in an impeccably tailored cream suit by Argent. The suit featured a structured vest worn under a matching blazer, which she wore casually draped over her shoulders, and tailored wide-legged trousers that pooled perfectly over her heels. She finished the look with oversized sunglasses, a bold red manicure, and her signature blonde hair styled in a chic, voluminous blowout. What is so incredible about Hannah Waddingham is that she possesses this unbelievable, magnetic confidence that makes literally any outfit look 10 times more expensive and glamorous. On the model, this suit looks quite simple and office-ready, but on Hannah, it looked like the most luxurious, high-fashion ensemble on the planet. She kept the top buttons of her vest undone, which added this wonderfully relaxed, slightly undone energy to the tailoring, preventing it from looking too stiff or corporate. I also loved the sheer drama of a shoulder-draped blazer, especially on someone with Hannah's commanding height and posture. She looked like she owned the entire venue. She was pictured having the absolute time of her life in the stands, laughing and chatting, reminding us all that fashion is at its best when the person wearing it is genuinely enjoying themselves. This is a flawless 10 out of 10 for me, an outfit and an attitude that together made for one of the most enjoyable appearances of the entire fortnight to watch. Number 20, Paul Mescal. Next on our list, we have Irish actor Paul Mescal, who brought his signature rugged, effortlessly cool aesthetic to the tournament's final weekend. Paul has quickly become one of the most exciting young style icons to watch, and his approach to Wimbledon's traditional dress code was absolutely brilliant. He wore a relaxed, light gray double-breasted suit paired with a simple white tee underneath instead of a structured shirt and tie, and finished the look with classic black leather loafers and dark sunglasses. It was the perfect blend of high-end tailoring and casual modern menswear. By skipping the traditional button-up and tie, Paul made the suit feel incredibly youthful and relevant. The relaxed fit of the tailoring allowed him to look completely comfortable while still adhering to the smart dress code of the royal box, proving that you do not need to look stiff to look incredibly polished. His natural charisma and unbothered attitude did a lot of the heavy lifting here, making a relatively simple outfit look like a major fashion statement. What I appreciate most about this look is how it represents a shift in modern menswear. It shows that the younger generation of Hollywood is finding ways to respect traditional heritage events like Wimbledon while still staying true to their own personal style. Paul didn't try to play a character or wear something that felt too stuffy for him. He took a classic suit and made it feel entirely his own. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me. Proof that comfort and formality do not have to be at odds with one another. Number 21. Leo Woodall. Up next, we have another rising British star, Leo Woodall, who turned heads on day 8 of the tournament with his classic, preppy menswear look. Leo, who has been charm-offensiving his way through Hollywood lately, went for a timeless Ralph Lauren ensemble that looked incredibly dapper. He wore a navy blue linen blazer over a crisp, white button-down shirt, paired with beige tailored trousers and a silk-patterned tie. He completed the look with tortoiseshell sunglasses and brown suede loafers, looking every bit the classic English gentleman. This is a very traditional Wimbledon look, but it works so well because the fit was absolutely immaculate. The linen fabric of the blazer gave the outfit a nice texture and a slightly relaxed feel, which kept the tailoring from looking too rigid or formal for a summer afternoon. Leo has this wonderful, easygoing charm that suited this preppy aesthetic perfectly, making him look like he belonged in the royal box. It is easy to default to a standard suit for Wimbledon, but breaking it up with a navy blazer and light trousers is such a great way to show a bit of style personality while still looking incredibly smart. Leo nailed the proportions. The color coordination was spot on, and the overall vibe was clean, classic, and completely effortless. It is a look that will never, ever go out of style. This is an 8 out of 10 for me, a look you could genuinely revisit in another decade, and it would still feel just as sharp. Number 22, Nicola Coughlan. Next up, we have the brilliant Nicola Coughlan, who brought her signature charm and a very cool, modern silhouette to the tournament. Nicola decided to skip the traditional summer dress entirely, opting instead for an incredibly chic, oversized blazer and matching wide-leg trousers. She paired the structured suit with a simple white top underneath, a small leather handbag, and finished the look with oversized retro sunglasses that gave the whole outfit a very glamorous, 70s-inspired energy. What I love about this look is the play on proportions. The oversized tailoring was incredibly fashion-forward, but because the cream color was so soft and summery, the outfit did not feel too heavy or overwhelming for a daytime event. It was comfortable, it was incredibly stylish, and it stood out beautifully in a sea of predictable sundresses. Nicola has such a great eye for fashion, and she always knows exactly how to make a statement while still looking completely comfortable in her own skin. This look was a perfect example of how to do smart casual dressing with a real editorial edge. The slouchy silhouette of the trousers paired with the sharp shoulders of the blazer created this beautiful, balanced contrast that felt both relaxed and incredibly powerful. She looked effortlessly cool, confident, and like she was having the absolute best time. This look, it has to be a 9 out of 10 for me, and she looked like she was having the absolute best time doing it. Number 23, Andrew Garfield. Moving on to number 23, we have Andrew Garfield again, who is consistently one of the best-dressed men at any event he attends. For his other appearance this year, Andrew went for a gorgeous, retro-inspired Ralph Lauren look that felt incredibly rich and sophisticated. He finished the look with tortoiseshell sunglasses and brown leather dress shoes. This is menswear at its absolute finest. The color palette alone was incredibly chic. That forest green against the cream was such a stunning, unexpected combination that felt both summery and deeply luxurious. Using a knit polo instead of a traditional dress shirt gave the outfit a sporty, heritage tennis feel that was just so perfect for Wimbledon. Andrew has this wonderful classic movie star aura, and this outfit played into that beautifully. The tailoring on the trousers was immaculate, sitting perfectly at the waist and breaking just right over his shoes. It was relaxed but incredibly polished, showing a deep understanding of fit and silhouette. Andrew looked dapper, comfortable, and effortlessly stylish, proving once again why he is a true menswear icon. This has to be a 10 out of 10 for me, and easily one of the strongest cases on this entire list for why a single celebrity can earn two completely separate, completely deserved spots. Number 24, Clara Amfo. Up next, we have the fabulous Clara Amfo, who brought a vibrant, joyful energy to the tournament with her colorful fashion. Clara decided to skip the neutrals entirely, showing up in a stunning maxi dress that was an absolute showstopper. The dress featured a beautiful halter neckline, a cinched waist, and a flowing skirt that moved beautifully as she walked. She styled the bold dress with simple gold jewelry, dark sunglasses. I absolutely love this look. Wimbledon fashion can sometimes get a little too serious and a little too beige, so seeing Clara arrive in such a brilliant, saturated pop of color was a total delight. Tone looked incredible on her, and the relaxed, flowing silhouette of the dress felt perfect for a warm summer day in South London. Clara proved that you do not need tailoring or muted colors to look incredibly chic at a prestigious event. She looked bright, happy, and completely stylish, bringing a wonderful sense of personality and fun to the grounds. It was a beautiful reminder that summer fashion should be vibrant and full of life. This look, it has to be an 8 out of 10 for me. A beautiful reminder that summer fashion should be vibrant and full of life. Number 25, Nkuti Gatwa. Next on our list, we have the incredibly stylish Nkuti Gatwa, who always brings a heavy dose of high fashion drama to every single red carpet and event he attends. For Wimbledon, Nkuti did not disappoint, delivering a modern, fashion-forward take on classic tailoring that was absolutely brilliant. He wore a structured, double-breasted gray suit, but instead of styling it traditionally, he paired it with a sheer black button-down shirt underneath and finished the look with bold silver jewelry and chunky black dress shoes. This look was pure rock and roll elegance. The contrast between the sharp, traditional tailoring of the gray suit and the edgy, modern feel of the sheer black shirt was so incredibly cool. Nkuti has this amazing, fearless approach to fashion, and he knows exactly how to push boundaries while still looking exceptionally polished and appropriate for the event. He carried himself with so much style and confidence, turning the Wimbledon walkways into his own personal runway. What I love most about this outfit is that it feels so authentic to Nkuti's personal style. He did not dilute his fashion identity to fit into the stuffy, traditional standards of the event. Instead, he took those traditional elements and reinterpreted them through his own unique, high-fashion lens. It was bold, it was exciting, and it was easily one of the most memorable menswear moments of the year. This is a solid 9 out of 10 for me, one of the most memorable menswear moments of the entire year. Number 26, Olivia Neal. Up next, we have internet personality and style influencer Olivia Neal, who brought a very fresh, youthful energy to the tournament with her chic look. Olivia went for a beautiful, feminine aesthetic. This was such a pretty classic summer look that felt incredibly appropriate for Wimbledon. Styling the all-white dress with black accessories was a great way to add some contrast and ground the look, giving it a very polished, put-together finish. Olivia looked incredibly chic and sophisticated, showing a real understanding of how to dress for a prestigious event while still keeping it youthful and fun. It is easy for younger influencers to sometimes overcomplicate their outfits for major events, but Olivia trusted the simplicity of a beautiful white dress and classic accessories, and it worked beautifully. She looked effortlessly elegant, comfortable, and completely on theme. This look, it has to be an 8 out of 10 for me, exactly the kind of look that earns a spot on a list like this one. Number 27, classic British look. Moving on to number 27, we have a look that felt like a beautiful, classic nod to traditional British heritage. Now, when we think of Wimbledon fashion, we often think of clean lines, sharp tailoring, and a very specific kind of old-world charm. And this outfit delivered all of that in spades. The look featured a tailored tweed blazer worn over a crisp white dress shirt and paired with tailored cream trousers and a silk pattern tie. The outfit was finished with classic leather brogues and tortoiseshell sunglasses. This is the kind of outfit that feels like it has existed forever, but it still looks incredibly fresh and stylish today. The mixture of textures, the weight of the tweed blazer against the crispness of the cotton shirt and the smoothness of the silk tie was so beautifully done, creating a very rich, multi-dimensional look. It is a style that feels deeply rooted in British heritage, evoking images of classic countryside weekends and traditional sporting clubs. What makes this look work so well is that it doesn't try to be trendy or modern. It embraces the history and the tradition of the event completely, and there is a real quiet confidence in that. It is an outfit that respects the venue, respects the dress code, and looks incredibly handsome doing it. It was classic, sophisticated, and perfectly executed. This is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Classic, sophisticated, and perfectly executed from start to finish. Number 28. Priya Davdra. And finally, at number 28, we have the lovely Priya, who gave us a beautiful lesson in how to wear color at Wimbledon. Priya arrived looking absolutely stunning in a vibrant sky blue that was a complete breath of fresh air, and kept her accessories minimal to let the gorgeous blue color be the main focus of the outfit. But the bright color keeps it feeling light, fun, and completely appropriate for the season. This sky blue tone was incredibly flattering on Priya, and the fit of the suit was absolutely perfect. Slim through the shoulders with a beautiful straight-leg trouser that lengthened her silhouette. She looked incredibly chic, confident, and put together, standing out in the best way possible. It is so easy to default to white, cream, or navy when dressing for Wimbledon, but Priya showed that stepping outside of those safe boundaries can yield some truly beautiful results. Her outfit was professional, stylish, and incredibly fresh, making her easily one of the best-dressed women of the day. This has to be an 8 out of 10 for me. Results genuinely worth other attendees taking note of for next year. Number 29, Kaya Scodelario. Next up, we have the effortlessly chic Kaya Scodelario, who attended the men's singles final as a guest of Range Rover. Kaya arrived in a look that felt remarkably poised, carrying herself with the air of a high-powered, successful professional, rather than someone just sitting courtside for the afternoon. Her ensemble struck a balance between structured and modern, utilizing clean lines and a sophisticated color palette that felt entirely appropriate for the prestigious setting of the Royal Box. It is the kind of outfit that manages to look intentional and well-curated without appearing as though it was labored over for hours by a styling team. What I particularly enjoyed about her appearance was how she managed to stand out in the crowded Royal Box through understated confidence. She didn't rely on massive logos or chaotic trends to draw the eye. Instead, she let the fit and the sharp tailoring of her outfit take the lead. Kaya's presence at the tournament added a lovely, polished energy to the final day's festivities, and she easily secured her spot on this list for being one of the best-dressed stars of the afternoon. This look, it has to be an 8 out of 10 for me. One of the names people were still talking about well after the final had ended. Number 30, Princess Catherine. And finally, at number 30, we have the Princess of Wales, who truly saved her best Wimbledon look for last. For the men's singles championship, Catherine chose a bespoke olive green Amelia Wickstead midi dress that felt both elegant and perfectly in tune with the grass court setting. The design featured a beautiful cape-like overlay that draped softly over the shoulders, offering a contemporary and refined take on traditional royal tailoring. She paired the look with toffee-toned accessories, including a Demelier bag and Ralph Lauren Celia pumps, keeping the entire aesthetic cohesive and understated. What made this the perfect closing look was the restraint. There were no loud prints or dramatic embellishments, just thoughtful construction, a flattering silhouette, and a color that felt like a quiet nod to the history of the All England Club. As the patron of the tournament, she once again proved that she understands the balance between royal duty and personal style better than anyone. Looking polished without ever appearing to try too hard. It was the ultimate masterclass in modern royal courtside dressing. This has to be a perfect 10 out of 10 for me, and there really was no better outfit to close out this entire countdown on than this one. That wraps up our countdown of the 30 best-dressed guests at the 2026 Wimbledon Championships. Thank you so much for joining me on this fashion-focused journey through the fortnight. It was such a delight to see so many incredible style moments, from the classic preppy looks to the risk-taking editorial outfits that truly defined this year's tournament. And honestly, narrowing this down to just 30 names was no easy task, given just how strong the fashion was across the board this year. There really is no single formula for getting Wimbledon dressing right. And that variety is honestly what makes covering this event, year after year, such a genuine pleasure for me. Don't forget to let me know in the comments if you agree with my top picks, or if I missed someone who absolutely should have made the cut. Because I know there were so many other wonderful looks throughout the fortnight that just barely didn't make it into this final 30. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into celebrity style and red carpet events just like this one. I will see you all in the next one.